All right, so we're going to move on now, though. We're going to talk a little bit about Mission Impossible because there were some interesting headlines about that. I mean, one of the things I saw was that apparently the budget for Part 7 was almost $300 million. But I mean, listen, I can't really judge that. Maybe part of that is, remember, they filmed 7 and 8 back to back. So maybe
Right.
that's for both movies.
They
I
could be
don't know.
sharing resources and production
Yeah,
staff, and like had a second team shooting while they're shooting 7 principal photography. You could have a location team
true.
scouting and
Yeah.
shooting B-roll for 8. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that they could kind of
Yeah,
mission
it'd be
that
funny
together.
too, depending on how they do the bookkeeping. We find out MI7 cost 290 and MI8 cost $5. You know,
Yes, $5.
but like the one that the headline that grabbed my attention that I wanted to talk a little bit about is there's a quote being attributed to Variety where there's an insider who apparently claims that episodes that films 7 and 8 are going to basically act as like the conclusion of Ethan Hunt's arc, sort of a transition. Like we're going to go elsewhere after 8, where there won't be Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. And to
Right.
me, that's intriguing because I remember a time back in like 2006 or 7, right around when Tom Cruise became a pariah in public. Remember when he jumped on Oprah's couch
Yeah.
and like freaked everyone out about how much he loved Katie Holmes, and everyone was
Yes.
like, "What the hell's going on with
That's still
Tom
a
Cruise?"
classic. Go back and
Yeah,
watch it. If you
yeah,
if,
and
if
he
you
like
haven't ever seen it, go watch it.
and
Go
he
on YouTube.
squeezes Oprah's hands, and it's really
It's
awkward and
bizarre.
uncomfortable. It's just, I'm just all in love. Anyway, um, so anyway, I remember around that time, Paramount was like messing around with the idea of we may have to ditch Tom Cruise as the star of Mission Impossible because even MI3, the box office had suffered. J.J. Abrams had come in to direct it. He had Philip Seymour Hoffman. The film got really good reviews, but MI3 got very low box office,
Right.
comparatively speaking. And they attributed to that to the fact that the Tom Cruise brand was sagging something awful. And at the time, they were talking about transitioning into a new leading man. And there was even talk at the time that that's why they brought Jeremy
Jeremy
Renner's
Renner.
character
Yeah.
in for 4, that like he would suddenly become the main guy after a time and whatever. And then obviously they changed their minds on that and they realized that people have very short attention spans and that Tom Cruise is re-welcomed back into everyone's life. And now he's been here again another, it's
He
been
was like,
15
I'll
years.
do crazy life threatening stunts. And they were like, you know what?
Oh,
Tom, come
cool.
right back. Come
Sold.
right back in.
Yeah. So there was a time when they toyed with this, but now here we are where that might be the reality that after 8, maybe our boy Ethan Hunt finally gets to retire and go be with that wife or go be with Rachel Ferguson's character, whatever her name is. And I guess I'm just curious. This series now has been around since like 1995 or 96. We're going on
Yeah.
way too long. No, we're going on 27 years of Mission Impossible movies. Do you think that this is a series that could survive without Tom Cruise? You think the brand, the franchise itself is strong enough to mutate into something without Tom Cruise in it?
I think it is. It is. First of all, it's one of my favorite film series ever. I
Thank
love,
you.
absolutely
Yeah,
love this
I
entire film
agree, man.
series.
I don't
It's
think it
excellent.
gets
It's some of
enough.
the best action movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like people don't talk about it enough. Maybe they do. I don't know, but like they should. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Especially the recent ones have been really tremendous. Anyway,
By the way,
what I,
those are all movies where Abrams put the team together. He was in the
that's right.
producer role. He
Mhm.
hired the writers and directors, and the rest was history. Keep going.
But yeah, it's like that series is so the identity is Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What I feel like will probably happen because I feel like you've already. I'll give you some examples, but the movie series will end. They're not going to jump into another set of movies. Hopefully, I really think if they did, it's not going to do well. What I could see them doing is they're going to end up doing like a Paramount Plus like series, and they'll do like a
Oh,
streaming version with a
wow.
new person. Because like, listen, they've done it with Amazon has Reacher now, which I think is a Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Like not a continuation, but they brought Jack Reacher. They
Yeah.
did Jim Ryan with John Krasinski. They did that, on
Dude,
Amazon.
you just
Um,
blew me away. Because it would bring the whole thing full circle, too, because
yeah,
that's how
and
Mission
it's
Impossible
hooked up with
started.
Paramount, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Right?
Yeah, it's
Like, yeah,
Paramount. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, it would bring Mission Impossible full circle because that started as a 60s
Right.
TV series that my dad grew up watching, and then it became the film series in the 90s. But if somehow Mission Impossible ends up back on the small screen, I mean, that would be kind of poetic in a way, wouldn't it? I
Yeah.
think you're right. That would be
I
pretty.
think that's what they'll do. They can do it for probably like a lower budget than doing
Yeah.
the films. There's probably maybe less risk, and it's content for the streaming service that they're gonna need. It's a content war now. We all know
Yeah.
this. So I think that's the way it would go.
And what they could do,
Yeah.
now I'm just spitballing, what they could do is like they could take an authority figure from these next two movies. I think I forget if Alec Baldwin's character even survived the
I don't think
fallout.
he's alive anymore.
I don't think he is, right? So whoever like the new boss is, lock that actor down, and he could be the
Right.
connective tissue into a TV series. And then this time, because I remember, I'm old. I'm 38 now. It's crazy, but I remember in the 90s people kvetching about the fact that, hey, Mission Impossible is supposed to be about a team of spies. It's an ensemble thing, and everyone has their specialty,
Right.
and it was never about one guy. And now this is just a Tom Cruise action movie, blah, 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 you know. And then as the films have worn on, they've kind of brought the team
It is a
element
team.
more
It totally
to the
is,
forefront.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think MI2 really had any sort of team element, you know, and
No,
like,
it wasn't until like 4.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
4 is when we've got Peg.
Yeah,
Right?
so it would be interesting too, like again,
Yeah.
in terms of going full circle, right? It went from a show about a team of spies into a film franchise about one cool dude.
Yeah,
Then
one man
he
army.
finally has a team, and then it goes back to TV. So it's like, you know, I
Yeah,
kind of like
I
that
feel
arc.
like that's likely the future of that franchise. If anything,
Yeah.
they're gonna do that, and like I don't know, it probably won't be good.
I mean, listen, I think these movies are going to be really good. I think Tom Cruise is doing some interesting stuff
I
to
have no
make
doubt that the
sure.
movies are gonna be good. They're
Yeah.
all good. They're awesome.
Because like there's rumors too that like 7 is going to end on a cliffhanger of some sort, and that Cruise, one of the reasons that they delayed 7 is that he wants to have 8 fully in the can before they lock 7, so that everything is just seamless and flawless between the two
Right.
movies. So I don't see how this could be bad. You know, you have Christopher McQuarrie
Yeah,
coming
he's
back.
back for both, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Mission Impossible is, yeah, if this is the end, I guess what a way to go. But see, now you've got me intrigued about an MI TV series. So now we'll see
Yeah.
what happens after 8 comes out, you know?
We shall see.